let me bring in Dushyanth Sridar. Does the Ramcharitmanas deserve to be burnt as the Samajwadi Party's workers and Maurya's workers have done, and Maurya himself seems in no hurry to condemn? Sir, and when it is, what goes through the mind of a Hindu such as you? Mr. Sridhar, please tell me.
Namaskaram, Rahul, and namaskaram to my fellow panelists. I heard all of them very, very patiently. You can add as many veries as possible. With respect to the last few months or years, we have been talking about decolonizing our thoughts. We need to get out of the colonial period. I think we need to go 600 years before that and de-Islamize our thoughts as well. I'm not meaning in a derogatory manner. I'm not talking about the religion, because we were ruled by many, many kings who were adhering to that religion, because it was during that period when most of the libraries were burnt, Rahul. So it was a thought from the Western world that when bundles of manuscripts and scriptures are burnt in India, that scripture will vanish in thin air. No. Because Vishnu Sahasranamam or Ramayanam or Mahabharatam, I don't need any of these books, because I know most of these verses by heart. So I can give them a few of my copies and they can burn, because Ramayanam or Ramcharitmanas stays here, stays in my mind. So I am not bothered about burning of the books. So this burning of the books itself is a very foreign thought. They think, see, that system is still continuing. I'll keep that aside for a minute. With respect to this particular verse of Ramcharitmanas, I feel nobody has understood what that context is. It is a biography of a person called Rama, where there are a plethora of characters. When Rama wishes to construct a setu, a bridge, setu pata seema seemantita samudra, says Vedanta Deshika, connecting Bharata Desha to Sri Lanka, he has to seek the Green Tribunal's clearance. So he asks the Ministry of Waterways, I'm giving you the modern parlance, Samudra Raja, to give him permission. After 3-4 days, this person doesn't arrive, which itself proves that this person was corrupt. Samudra Raja was corrupt. Else, when Rama is surrendering, following the 3 days of Prayopavesham, why should he not return? Then he comes and says, Rama, I've done a grave mistake by not answering your call. That is when this particular verse comes. This is not a verse of Tulsidas. This is not the verse what the protagonist Rama states. It is a verse of a character. Samudra Raja states, Dhol Gavar Sudra Pashunari Sakal Tadana Ke Adhikari. Everybody deserves instructions, very, very clear, assertive instructions, and he lists the category. So he says, Dhol, he talks about the Achetana Vastu, those which don't have knowledge. Then Gavar, those who are bereft of education. Then he brings the word Sudra. Immediately there is a huge flare up here, because Shastram says Janma Jayate Shudraha. Until you have decided your profession of being a Vedic Pandit or a person who protects the country, all of us are Shudras. Janma Jayate Shudraha. Then he says Pashu Nari, Pashu, all the animals, Nari, all the women. So the men come in the word Shudra, the women come in the word Pashu, Nari. So it is similar to the verse Sura Nara Khaga Go Bhogi Gandharva Daityehi, which comes in Vishnu Sahasranamam. Third point, Rahul. Whenever we have religious works in India, I'm talking about the Indian civilization, be it Ramayanam of Valmiki, Mahabharata of Vyasa, we have bequeathed poetry. And in poetry, you have every right to use similes and metaphors. For example, you show me an object which is white. I tell this object is as white as a crane. I'm using a simile. Tomorrow morning when I'm making my cup of tea or coffee, I cannot end up using the crane. I'm just using one aspect of that particular object for comparison. So people should understand reading, because we have people who speak like this would have never have touched Ramcharitmanas. Ask them to give an essence. I can bring this challenge to you on your debate, Rahul. Bring the person who is talking about Ramcharitmanas and me on the debate. Let him explain every verse of the Yuddha Kandam, every verse of the Balakandam, and then criticize Tulsidas. So my final conclusion word is, this thought of burning books is a very, very Western thought. They are still laid in their old rules. Hinduism doesn't believe in any of these manuscripts. It believes that all these manuscripts are in the brain. So let them burn as many copies as possible. The religion and the civilization will survive for another. You spoke about five, I think Anand spoke about 5 millennia or more. So it will survive for 5 more millenniums. So there's no worry about, let them burn as many as possible.